Hi, I'm Candy Mahurin. I'm the owner of Sassafras Creek Originals at 311 St. Mary's Road. And this weekend we're having a big event called Pioneer Days. So in the backyard of the shop there are lots of handcrafts and demonstrations of things from early America that you can buy. Today only we were doing carriage rides, but I think the tickets are sold out for that. But there's still lots of fun things to see and do and buy, and we've got chicken and dumplings that you can eat, kettle corn, pork skins, plenty of cold drinks. So come on out. We're here till 4 o'clock both days, today and tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
So, my name's Clay. Nobleshire Carriage is the company. We're giving rides through the historic district here in St. Genevieve. I'm from Millstadt, Illinois, which is about 70 miles from here. Yep.
My name's Kathy, and this is my husband Vernon. I make quilts, doll quilts, small wall or table decorations, some little pillows. My husband does wood carving, and we're just here to help educate people on the way crafts used to be done.
All right, thank you. What are you working on carving right now?
Right now I'm working on an eagle carving. This is patterned after a piece that was done during the 1860s. So it's kind of like a phoenix eagle with the head here. Talon's going to be holding this shield. 2 flags. And as they're here, they're draped around and come folding back to the front. And then, of course, the wings of the eagle. So it kind of almost looks like a little bit of a phoenix eagle type. And this is a piece that was done, like I said, during the 1860s. And these are things, I'm using all hand tools, just like they did back then. That's what gives it these characteristic knife marks. It's not smooth because it's been cast or anything. This is all done by hand. So we're here at the Pioneer Days so that we can show people how things were done by hand. You can still do them by hand, and how the quality of the artisan is used in his work.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We are doing the popcorn, pork skins, and chicken and dumplings. We still do the old-fashioned hand-rolled dumplings. The kettle we cook for the popcorn is still a cast iron kettle. It's probably 150 years old. Still made the way they used to make it. Back in the day, we only substitute the lard for the oil anymore. We do pork skins also, made in another kettle about 120 years old. Pretty much try to keep it all old-fashioned and have a good time. You can always come out, check us out, and enjoy.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm Ron's friend, and last year was their first Pioneer Days, and he decided we'll do it again this year, and he said, you want to come down? And I come down with it, and right now I sleep right here in the Diamond, which is a small square piece of canvas, and then we've got an oven here that Ron built this oven, and we're going to do our first cooking in it today. So we've got loaves of bread warming up on top right now, and we'll see how it works. And got a pot of chili we're ready to work on next. The chili's cooked, got to boil it again and then cook cornbread on it. And that'll be our supper tonight.
Good day. Good to see you. Sure, we'll see you guys.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, what did he make that out of? Concrete?
There's cement. There's the cat litter. You know, the chunk of that. Then he's got the mortar mix, sand, mix it all together, and he built a shell. Built a shell out of it. And then he's got it sitting on the fire brick so he doesn't burn his wagon up. But during the Civil War, that time period, they had portable ovens that hauled with the troops.
Yeah. Do y'all do Civil War as well?
It's deer antler and cedar?
Yeah, the dark ones are cedar. Everything else is deer antler that's been cut and sanded and polished. The big wooden crosses are reclaimed wood, except for the cedar, and that's some we've cut off our farm.
And what's your organization?
Tater Hill Designs. We're in Southern Illinois.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm with the Ava Craft Center 2.0, and we're located about 45 minutes away from here, but it was well worth the drive because at this event I feel like they're focusing on preserving historical trades and trades work. So my family background is I'm a fourth generation rug weaver, and so this is a smaller scale of a loom of what we would be making the rugs on. This is more of for fabric weaving for like your scarves or dish towels, things of that nature. But we've got bigger scale looms that we have in our store, and we're able to make what is considered a traditional rag rug. With the traditional rag rugs, you can use a variety of fabrics. So we work 100% off of donations. We will take really anything except for t-shirts. So your blue jeans, your button-down shirts, your bed sheets, and you're able to turn into a functional rug that lasts a really long time. So a lot of times people have trouble visualizing what different fabrics will look like. So this one right here is made out of old blue jean. And so this has been a family craft. My great-grandma, she would always say, for people that are just getting into rug weaving, it's like rug fever. You get it, and you keep weaving, and you keep weaving, and it's really a trade of passion. It's a very it's not hard at all, but it's a lot of time invested in it. And so I guess the reason why we're here and why I'm fourth generation shop owner keeping it going is preserving the trade, but also my family history.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I do hand spinning, and at home I have my wheels, but I brought out my drop spindle today to demonstrate how you can learn how to make your own yarn. And we custom dye everything and have some handmade drop spindles, and it takes about 7 hours to create a skein of yarn on a spinning wheel, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I learned from my great-grandmother when I was little, and I've been doing it my whole life.
Hey, can I get your name again?
Renee?
Hi, my name is Lisa Thompson, and I am here just demonstrating some of the craftsmanship for the blacksmithing skills. We travel all over the place. My husband and I, he's a full-time farrier, and I'm a full-time blacksmith. We do all kinds of custom work. We teach classes and set up in a lot of different towns. Is there anything particular you want to know?
Tell me a little bit about your anvil and forge over here.
Okay. We actually have 5 different anvils. We teach a lot of classes, so we've got a bunch of different styles. The small one here is called a kanka, and it's actually from Turkey. It's drop forged. It weighs about 45 pounds. The one next to that is actually a farrier's anvil, so it's got turning hands on it and a smaller pitchel hole. Makes it a little easier to forge your horseshoes like these on. And it's 75 pounds. I have a large 200-pounder at home, and at home I also run a coal forge. This is a propane forge. We teach classes on anything from steak turners and cooking tools, door handles, spike knives. Sky's the limit on what you can do when you have steel and fire.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, my name is Jeff Baggett, and I'm from Cadiz, Kentucky, down in western Kentucky. I'm a historical fiction author, so I write novels set during the American Revolution. And so my wife and I have our tent. We travel several shows, several events a year to set up our bookshop and sell books and meet people.
All right, thank you.
I'm Many Hats from St. Louis, and I am portraying a blanket trader. And so I bring the latest and greatest goods from St. Louis, and for people to purchase. And so some of it's later than this time period. But I mean, it was all, St. Genevieve was here long before St. Louis was. And so then finally it came about. But it's just neat, this whole area. I mean, two things were the big, well, 3 things. The river, Saline Creek, where they got salt from, and the lead from old mines was the 3 main areas of why this area was settled, and the fields, farm fields. So, I mean, it was pretty prominent to Missouri civilization.
All right, thank you.
My name is Belinda Link, and I play an instrument called a dulcimer. It had several names, like a dulcimer or a hog fiddle in days gone by. And this is a replica of an early dulcimer from the mid-1800s. Whenever settlers came over from Ireland and settled in the Pennsylvania area and Virginia area, they didn't have any musical instruments that came with them, but their memory of the bagpipes did come with them. And they came up with this instrument, and it only has a fret under the melody string. And these 2 strings are played like a drum. So it replicates the sound of a bagpipe when you strum it. It's not fretted. You hear that drone? Yeah. That makes it sound. Reminded them of the bagpipes. And so Mr. Ed Thomas started building this kind of a dulcimer right here and selling it from his mule wagon. And it's started kind of going around the area. People from the hills of Tennessee, the Appalachian Hills, didn't have woodworking equipment available to them. The ones that lived in the hills and were very primitive. So they used pieces of whatever wood was laying around to build an instrument that sounded like that. And they built just used strips of wood, and it made a box. And it's played just the same. They had fence staple frets. They usually ground out the holes themselves, and they played it with a feather or a quill and a stick to push it with. And again, it had the same drone sound. And as dulcimers were sold and made by various people, eventually the Hinman School in Kentucky was provided with some dulcimers by Mr. Thomas and Mr. Ed Pritchard, and they started experimenting, and they came up with doing a full fret on a dulcimer. So now it has 3 strings. This one actually has 4, but this is acts as 1. But it goes all the way across, and so that little line of a song I played that had the drone sound, now full fretted with sound. So there you can hear the difference of playing with the drone with staple frets and with playing with full frets. Popularity exploded with the folk musician Jean Ritchie, who sang and played her dulcimers in the 40s and 50s and thereon. And so now a lot of people play a dulcimer. Dolly Parton, Joni Mitchell, Cyndi Lauper, they all play dulcimers. And so it's become popular, and it's changed. And some people even now play them like bluesy and more modern. So that's the history of this little instrument called the dulcimer.
Thank you.
Would you like to hear a song?
Yes.
Would you like to hear like a slow song or a fiddle song?
A slow song would be fine.
A slow song?
Yeah.
Okay. How about Good Old Amazing Grace? Would that be okay?
That'd be great.
I'm from outside of St. Louis. I'm in Fenton, and I have been weaving for over 30 years. So I'm finishing up this basket. I'm putting the lasher on it, and that's what's going to hold it all together, because there's no glue or nails or staples or anything in baskets. They all hold themselves together. This is rattan. It's reed, and it comes in little bitty round, a great big flat. And all of the color, like I had to dye this blue because it only comes in this one natural color. I don't know what else you want to know.
What about you? Who are you?
Oh, I'm Laura Klaus. Like I said, I'm from right outside of St. Louis. I'm in Fenton, and I've been weaving baskets for over 30 years. My grandfather lived in northern Indiana and grew his own willow and would harvest willow and make willow baskets. So I've been having baskets in my blood since before I was born. I didn't get to learn from him though because he had passed away by the time I took up the hobby. But I wished I still have some of his great big ones because they last forever. As long as you don't put varnish or shellac or anything on them, they'll last for a long time. Okay, there's nothing else about me.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
Hi, so my name is Deb Cambron, and I'm proprietor of Herbs and Handspun. I am here at Pioneer Days 2022 doing some wool spinning. The wool I'm using is indigo dye. We dyed it at a workshop a couple weeks ago at the Nicole Deuce dot. So I am spinning this fairly fine, and hopefully by our French Festival in St. Genevieve, this yarn will be ready for sale. I have a lot of items around me that I have made, and the wool in this basket is Lincoln wool. It's a very long wool. It comes from a farm called Cold Comfort Farm in Murfreesboro, Illinois. And anyway, we're just grateful for the good weather today, and we have a lot of wonderful people here, and thankfully I'm still spinning after 42 years.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just south of here, we're from we're from Perry County, Missouri. We're longtime historic reenactors. Raised 3 kids in this hobby. This was available to us. We thought we'd try to support the local economy here at St. Genevieve by coming up. My wife is over to my right doing bobbin lace. I do leather work. I make horns. It's all a hobby with me, and so I really don't specialize in anything. But we're here today. We've generated a lot of interest in the bobbin lace making. I'm sitting here now trying to hand stitch the strap on a bag to show people how this is done. It's not all sewn by a machine somewhere. It's actually hand done, and it's just, we're history nuts, and we've just kind of enjoyed doing this for a bunch of years.
Hi, I'm Doug Nicholson. I'm president of Militia Day St. Genevieve, and I'm here at Sassafras Creek Originals, set up and displaying a militia camp. Everything you see around here would be stuff that the militia would have carried with them, and they would have used, and it would have been like a setup like this would have been collective use by the entire camp.
So everything in this display is something that I made in my shop, and a lot of the things, like some of the toys and things, go back, to the early pioneer days. This is a little tool called a Wimmy Diddle, and it just makes that little propeller spin. But if you know how to do it, you can tell it to stop, and then it'll stop and go in the other direction. Stop, go the other way. And then this particular game here, called Fox and Geese, some historians think that this goes back to the time of the American Revolution, and that it's a strategy game. If the light-colored pegs are the geese, and the red peg is the fox, and the object of the game, if the person who's doing the role of the geese, if 9 of these geese get from this side of the board to the other side of the board, then the geese win the game. If the fox captures 9 of the geese by jumping over them, then the fox wins the game. And so it's kind of a little bit like a simple chess game. You've got to kind of anticipate the moves and try to avoid getting trapped, and so you lose your geese.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if they did that back then, but they could.
But for the most part, I use native hardwoods. All these walnut, oak, birch, maple are all woods that you'll find growing in the local area.
Now I am.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Justine Dorn. We're down at Sassafras Creek Originals in St. Genevieve, Missouri. It is a beautiful May day here, and I am so happy to be here. This is my friend. He actually is the wife of Candy, who owns the shop, Sassafras Creek Originals. His name's Dale. He's a little shy, but he's a really nice guy.
She does good talking. Yeah.
Yeah, so we brought some of the things out here that are in the shop, just because last year not many people were going in the store, so we took some of the stuff out and put it here. And a lot of things here Candy herself made, the owner of the shop. Those boxes over there, she made those boxes. Those are hat boxes, where you can really put whatever you want inside of there. We got pure beeswax candles, we have books, we have hourglasses. My partner, he made these hourglasses. And this is an hourglass, but he'll make it down to 2 minutes if you want. He'll make you a custom one. And this is accurate by 2 seconds. And he timed it, so it's very, very accurate, and he can make whatever color sand you want as well. We got all sorts of things here, and it's a really good turnout. I'm very, very happy with the day. I feel very blessed, and I'm happy everyone's out here having a good time. And I hope whoever watching this is having a good time too. So you take care.